Hi, today we'll be going over the concept of if statements. Let's begin. So in Python we can put if. I guess we should first just talk about operators. In our day-to-day lives we use the equal sign. So we say like x is equal to 3, which means that x is equal to 3. But what if we want to compare? So let's say like is x equal to 3? Well, in programming, we don't just write x is equal to 3, we actually write x and then double equals 3. And so if this will return a Boolean statement, so um, if x is equals 3, then true, else false. And we can also use the exclamation mark, so x is not equal to 3. So if x equals 3, then false, else true. And yeah, those are just two operators you should know for comparative operators you should know for programming. So for our if statement, we have if, let's just say if bank account, if we have enough money. So we need $10,000 and we can do if bank or if balance. Oh, I should actually mention two more. So or we can do 4. So there's obviously the greater than or equal to, less than, or less than or equal to. Yeah, so these are how we can compare two numbers or two variables. So if balance is, let's just say if balance is equal to 0, so basically what we're doing is we have this if statement, and this is called the conditional. So we're checking if the balance is equal to 0. If the conditional is true, then we go into the if statement and we execute whatever lines of code we have here. And in our case, if our balance is 0, then we have to print we have no money. For conditionals, we also have something called elif, or in other languages it's just else if, but in Python we shorten it to elif. So say if elif balance is less than 10,000. So what we're doing here is if this statement is false, if balance is not equal to 0, then we go here, else if. So if it's not this, then check this conditional. So if balance is less than 10,000. And if this is the case, we'll just print we don't have. So in this case, we're checking this conditional, and if it's true, if balance is less than 10,000, but since this is an elif, we also have to make sure that balance is not equal to 0. Then we print we don't have enough money. And then we also have the else. So if everything above it, like if all of the strings of if statements are all false, then we go into the else. So if our balance is not equal to 0, and if it's not less than 10,000, actually we do have enough money. Yeah, so this actually considers negatives. So else, then we print we have enough money. So we have here that our balance is not 0 and not less than 10,000, which means the only possible case is that we have greater than or equal to 10,000. So in this case, we do have enough money for the $10,000. And let's just say we didn't have this statement, or I'll just comment it out. Then what would happen? Well, we have this if statement. Let's say we have this if statement. Balance is not equal to 0, so it's false. So we go into the else if, the next one. And balance is not less than 10,000, so basically nothing happens. We just continue here. And yeah, that's basically the whole idea of if statements, where you have a conditional, and if it's true, then you enter it, and if not, then you can have an else if, or you could just have an else and you check the conditional, or if it's an else, then you automatically go there no matter what. And one thing to note is that you aren't allowed to like print or have any lines of code between the if statements. This will result in an error because they have to be, I guess you could say, connected in a way. So if you just had code like new code, if you just had like elif balance is less than 0. Oops. So if we have this code right here, then this is not going to run because we need a previous if statement above this in order for the else if to work. And you could also have nested if statements or conditionals. So let's just say we wanted to check here if balance is less than 0. Or we can do like so here we have this else if statement is if balance is less than 10,000, and then we have a nested if statement. So with the condition that balance is less than 10,000, we're now checking if balance is less than 0, if it's negative. And if this is true, which means it's negative, then we go and execute the code inside this if statement. And then after we perform this, after we check, and then if it's less than 0, we perform what's inside, then we go back outside and we continue here and we print we don't have enough money. And yeah, that is basically all you need to know about if statements. Thank you for watching.